Hey, this is John, and today on the Wooden Nickel Workshop, I'm going to make an end grain cutting board. End grain cutting boards are the Cadillac of cutting boards. They have vertical wood fibers that have a self-healing action whenever a chef slides their knife across the surface of it, which reduces surface scars and keeps the chef's knives sharper for much longer, and they look cool. You can create all kind of neat geometric mosaic or checkerboard type patterns however you craft your board. But these boards are built to last for a very long time. They can resist heavy chopping, daily wear, better than a standard edge grain board. The blade moves in between the vertical wood fibers instead of cutting through them. But they are a little bit trickier to make, and because of that, you got to do 2 glue ups, and so they're a little bit more expensive to create. So I started out with some rough cut maple, walnut, and oak, and I got that all milled up. Got all my edges square, running it through the joiner, the planer, table saw, getting all my pieces to the size I want. Now you can see this is the first glue up going on. Just put a nice amount of glue in between each slat, tighten it up, glue it up, wipe it down, get all the squeeze out. I put a caul on this one just to make sure, try to keep it as flat as possible. That way when I go to the next step, it makes it a little bit easier on me. After the glue's dry, the next day I take a chisel and scrape off any of the excess glue, squeeze out. I like to keep a crusty old chisel around that's not much good for anything, just for this purpose. And then run it through the planer for 2 or 3 passes just to get everything flat. This one actually stayed pretty flat, and it didn't take very many passes to get it to the thickness that I wanted. I still really need to make a cart for this planer. That thing is heavy. Here you see me throw the speed square up on the board, and I'm just going to create a square edge to try to run this circular saw down the edge of it to try to get as flat a surface as possible, so I can run it through the table saw a couple times and get a 90-degree edge on it once again. Here you see me running the board through the table saw. This is where you're going to get, however thick you cut your slices here is how thick the cutting board is going to be. I got mine cut to 1.5 inches, so I wanted a pretty beefy, almost butcher block-like cutting board. So I get about 10 pieces out of it, and they're going to get these ready for the next glue up. Glue ups are always stressful, but this is actually my favorite part. This is where you can really show your creativity and try to come up with the neatest looking pattern. Organize the wood however you like to try to get it to look as cool as possible. So you'll see here, this is the face grain that I'm applying the glue to. I get the glue all spread out, and then when I twist each of these slats 1 turn over, then the end grain is what's showing. That's where the fibers can work and allow the knife to slide right through it. So you can see that's where the face grain's going down, being glued together, and allows the end grain to show on top. That glued overnight. Now I'm getting the board out of the clamps after the second glue up. And this is the riskiest part of the entire project. Some people say you can't run an end grain cutting board through planer. I just set it to where it would take off like a 32nd of an inch on each pass, and I didn't have any tear out, and I had nice, good sharp knives in the machine, and it came out just great, which is a super huge benefit, because to get one of these flattened requires special equipment. I don't have a big drum sander. I don't have a router that'll do the flattening. So that was a big win for me to get that into the planer and get it flat. Then I just take the joiner and get all the edges nice and square, getting it ready for the next step, which is the sandathon. And this is where a woodworker makes their money with cutting boards, because it is a lot of sanding. Starting with 80 grit, working my way all the way up through the grits, all the way up to 240 grit, I believe. And I put a decorative edge on both the top and the bottom. On the bottom, I put a chamfer, and then on the top, I did about a 1/4 inch round over bit. This next step is an essential one for any cutting board, whether it's face grain, end grain, edge grain, whatever. But this is the water. It's called the water pop. It's where you just soak the board to get it wet, and then let it dry. You can let it dry naturally. You can put a torch to it, put it in front of a fan, throw it out in the sun, however you want to get it dry. But what this does is the water will get into the board slightly and raise the grains up. And I mean, it feels rough like sandpaper after it dries from the water pop, even after you've sanded it to 240 grit, which is what you want. It raises those grains up, because the first time it gets wet, if you sell it to your customer, those grains will raise up and the cutting board will feel like sandpaper, that's no good. And then here's the part everybody likes. It's where you get to see really what the final product will look like once you apply your first coat of mineral oil. It takes a ton of mineral oil. That's another reason why end grain cutting boards are a little more expensive, is because it is a moisture wick, and it takes a lot of mineral oil to get it cured. After letting this puppy marinate in mineral oil for about 6 hours, it's time to get it out, get the excess wiped off, get it prepped for the final bit of wood conditioner. For a finishing touch on this cutting board, I put a wood conditioner of my own making. It's just a mixture of cutting board oil and beeswax, both of which are food safe. What this does is it helps to prevent the wood from drying out, cracking. It also provides a water-resistant barrier against liquids, which the cutting board is ultimately going to see a lot of, and it also enhances the natural grain and beauty of the wood. And there you have it, an end grain cutting board, and I gotta say I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. There's just something about a good cutting board. It's useful, it looks good sitting on the counter, and if you take care of it, it'll hang around longer than some of the furniture in your house. The best part about making one yourself is you get to choose the wood, the size, the pattern, all the little details that make it yours. Plus, there's just something that's super satisfying about taking a piece of rough cut lumber and just turning it into something that's this awesome. So if you enjoyed watching this one come together, hit that subscribe button and stick around for the next project here on the Wood and Nickel Workshop. Until then, thanks for watching, and remember, don't take any wooden nickels. See ya.